So I have to be honest, I almost did not shoot a review for the latest Gentleman Givenchy flanker. Not because it doesn't smell great, because it freaking smells amazing. It's probably the best smelling one in the whole entire collection. But because I get the worst performance from this fragrance, it hardly lasts on me. Gentleman Givenchy Eau De Parfum Reserve Privee. I'm going to let you know all about it coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian. Yes, today I'm talking about the latest flanker from the Givenchy Gentleman Givenchy collection of fragrances. This is the latest one called Gentleman Givenchy Eau De Parfum Reserve Privee. Man, these names are getting so freaking long. It's like, maybe stop making flankers and make original fragrances so you can call it one thing. No, this does smell really, really great. I enjoy it. In fact, when I first opened it up, I sprayed it, I took a whiff of it, I thought to myself, boy, am I smelling Dior Homme Parfum or Dior Homme Intense? But eventually the fragrance evolved and became its own fragrance, smelling more like the original, which is this. And I'm going to call this the original, not the Eau de Toilette, because for me, this is it's on a league of its own compared to the original, because I didn't really like the Eau de Toilette. I much prefer the Eau de Parfum, and I'm going to call the Eau de Parfum Reserve Privee a flanker of this one rather than the Eau de Toilette, because as I said, to me the Eau de Toilette and Eau de Parfum smell different. This reminds me more of the Eau de Parfum. Either way, I'm going to let you know all about this particular fragrance, what fragrances it reminds me of, why am I getting such bad performance. Before I do, if this is your first time tuning into the channel and you still haven't subscribed, please click the subscribe button below and also click the bell so that you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So let me know if you're anticipating this particular fragrance. Do you have it? Have you worn it? Do you get great performance? Do you get, major longevity with it? Because I sure do not. In fact, look at this. I've had this for just a little over a week now. Look at how much I've used up. This is all on me. It goes down so quick, it becomes a skin scent. It disappears so fast on me that I keep wanting to spray it because I love the way it smells. It smells fantastic, freaking fantastic, but it does not last on me whatsoever. I don't know. I don't know why that is, and I haven't looked at any other reviews. I haven't watched anything. I don't know how people are reacting to this particular fragrance, but it's the worst performing one out of the entire collection. And like I said, I almost didn't shoot a video for this review for this because I'm getting such bad performance from it. I'm just so disappointed. I bought this directly from Givenchy. I think the Givenchy website, it did say it was exclusive, like it was the exclusive seller of this one, or it's an online exclusive. That's why I bought it. I couldn't wait for it. And yeah, I do think it smells great. It's the best smelling out of the whole entire collection. But to me, it's the worst performing. I even got better performance from the cologne, which I also now see is not on the website anymore. Yeah, I'm disappointed with it. But either way, this is a 2022 launch. Price in the size 100 ml for $106. Concentration is Eau de Parfum. It does not say anywhere who the perfumers are, because the originals were created by Nathalie Lorson and Olivier Cresp, but they're not crediting the perfumers. For notes in this one, it's bergamot and whiskey for top notes. Heart notes are chestnut, Orris, and Benzoin. Base notes are cedarwood, vetiver, and patchouli. Great smelling notes, right? Yes, it does smell really, really great to me. And as I said, as soon as I sprayed it, it reminded me of Dior Homme Intense, not Dior Homme, but Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum to me. And I thought, wow, this is smelling so good. I'm surprised they're kind of going in that direction. But then, it does stop. It does stop smelling like Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum. This does go more vegetal smelling. I feel like there's that Iris Orris thing in here, also reminding me of carrot seeds and hinting at Loewe 001 Man, because this is all about carrot seeds here, and I get very much vegetal vibe in this one because of the carrot seeds in comparison to the Dior Homme Intense and Dior Homme Parfum, where that does go into a leathery direction, and it does have a lot of ambrette seeds in the notes. At least the Dior Homme Intense and the Dior Homme Parfum has the leather in there and the rose. So this does kind of eventually go away from smelling or reminding reminding me of Dior Homme Intense and starting to remind me more of the original Gentleman Givenchy Eau De Parfum. But for me, it's starting with some light citruses and very, very light citruses, and that booziness from the whiskey comes in as well. But the Orris in this is so strong. The Orris note, which to me, Orris and carrot seeds do have a similar smell, whereas carrot seeds do go more vegetal, Orris goes more irisy. Obviously, it's iris, orris root. So that's why I'm thinking there's kind of like carrot seeds in here, because there's that kind of vegetal vibe in it, which is so prominent in Loewe 001 Man in the Eau De Parfum concentration. So you do have that booziness up top, but the Orris is kind of dominating in the heart notes, kind of taking over. You're experiencing the powdery qualities of the Orris, or if there's potentially, you know, the carrot seeds in there. And then, you know, you start picking up this nuttiness from the chestnuts. And chestnuts, the nuttiness is a unique kind of a nuttiness rather than something like almonds or peanuts or something like that. So there's this kind of a nutty experience in there, but kind of a little more rounded and a little more what should I say? A little more woody, because there's definitely a woody characteristic with chestnuts, but soft and creamy kind of a woody experience here in the heart, along with the benzoin. Now, the original fragrance, the Eau De Parfum, I believe did have vanilla along with tolu or Peru balsam. They've removed those notes and they've added benzoin here for the heart notes. And benzoin is a resin. It does go vanillic. There's vanillic touches in the benzoin note. And I think this part is really, really great. I love this part. It smells great. In fact, the whole fragrance smells so good. And I wanted it to perform a lot better, but it just doesn't do it for me. But eventually, the fragrance does settle to woods, lots of woods with patchouli. But for me, I'm not experiencing the base notes much because it eventually disappears on me, and you know, I'm kind of left with a woody kind of an Orris powdery creamy kind of a nutty experience, a sweet resinous kind of experience, because the fragrance overall is sweet. There's definitely sweetness there, and I think the sweetness is coming from the benzoin, obviously, along with the whiskey, if there is any sweetness there, but definitely there's a sweet woodiness here and powdery Orris vegetal vibe in here, and that's pretty much the experience I get with this particular fragrance. And as I said, not so much woody, but eventually it is, you know, left with this woodiness. But by the time it's getting to the woodiness part in the base notes, I'm kind of experiencing the fragrance disappear. For me, this particular fragrance is mostly about the heart notes, and of course, you know, you're picking some of the booziness from the top notes of the whiskey. The booziness is very light. It's not overwhelming. This is not like a boozy bomb or booziness overdose or something like that. There's a light amount of booziness here. And I think it's the right amount, although they could have amped it up a little more. I think I could have appreciated a little more booziness in this particular fragrance. But this, to me, is more like definitely a vegetal Orris powdery iris kind of a sweet fragrance experience for men. Really delicious smelling. Really absolutely delicious smelling. This Eau De Parfum version is my favorite, or used to be. Now this is, but still, I get weak performance with this one in comparison to this one. I don't understand why. It's a major disappointment. I had high hopes for this one. I was waiting for it to be an amazing experience, and even though smell-wise it is, performance-wise it sucks. I want to point out something else as well. The bottle has been redone. It seems like it's gotten smaller. It's a little more compact, which I liked. Less bottle, less glass. And you can see that there's all this thick glass down here. This one doesn't have it. This bottle also has this beautiful logo on the back. They've kind of gone all out with this one, and I see that it's kept it around the $100 mark. It's $106, and it's definitely an Eau De Parfum concentration fragrance. So I like that they've kept it the price low, but you know, they've kind of like redone the bottle a little bit, which I prefer this bottle much more than this bottle. I always felt these bottles were a little too much for me. They're not the best looking. They seem a little clunky and overdone, like you know, Ben Affleck's Batman costume or suit. He was always like too much, and that's kind of what I feel about these bottles. Here we have the nice, more toned down version of the bottle, which I quite like here. But let me tell you a little more things. So it does remind me of Dior Homme Intense, Dior Homme Parfum, as I said. Yes, it does. That goes away. And of course, it's going to remind me of the Eau De Parfum in the Gentleman Givenchy series. Definitely, for sure. And as I said, the vegetal parts does remind me of Loewe 001 Man. in the Eau De Parfum concentration, but there's also some light hints of Valentino Uomo Intense in this particular fragrance. Definitely there. It's kind of all in that same ballpark, I think. All of these can be somewhat inspired from one another. This is the Givenchy version of that kind of, you know, powdery iris kind of a fragrance. Here, though, there's a little bit of a hint of this one too. Zadig & Voltaire's This Is Him. A little bit. But by the time we get to the smell or reminder of Zadig & Voltaire's This Is Him, I think it's a completely other fragrance. So there's very, very minute amounts of reminders of that particular fragrance. But for me, definitely you'll get hints of Dior Homme Intense. You'll get hints of the original Gentleman Givenchy Eau De Parfum, and of course total vegetal carrot seed kind of powderiness from the Loewe 001 Man, and then of course the Valentino Uomo in the intense version as well. Man, this is such a great smelling fragrance. Obsessed with the smell. Maybe I'm just way obsessed, that's why I'm overdoing it, but I wish the fragrance didn't disappear on me as fast. It could also be that I'm anosmic to the way the fragrance is composed. It could be. But the fragrance just disappears on me after about 2 hours. Completely gone. Nothing. Nada. I haven't really tried to extend the life with any boosters or enhancers where I would spray something like Molecule 1 and then wait for it to dry and then I spray the fragrance on. I haven't done anything like that. But recently I've also started using a lot of unscented lotion. Several times I wore this, I would say 3 times after I put on lotion all over my body. I sprayed it, it would still disappear. I would not smell it. I have a feeling I'm anosmic to the notes in here. I don't know what it is, but I just don't smell it. But that's the bummer part about this particular fragrance. Otherwise, I think it would be a top-notch release, one of the best for the last 5-6 years, because even though this smells really, really great, I think this one does smell a little more better. But now that the performance sucks on this one, I think this one is going to be the default out of the entire collection. So that's my thoughts on this particular fragrance. Do let me know if you get great performance on this one. Is it just me? As I said, I haven't watched anybody's reviews. I haven't read any reviews. I'm just sharing what I thought about this particular fragrance. But maybe some people are experiencing the same thing, or maybe people get, you know, great longevity. I don't know, but I wanted great longevity with this one. Sadly, I do not. And, you know, I should say, you guys might think I only like niche fragrances and things like that. No, I do enjoy really great smelling designer fragrances, and you know, I get much better performance from Dior Homme Intense in comparison to this one. So I'm expecting it to be performing similarly to that, because this is Eau De Parfum after all. This is Eau De Parfum after all too. So that's a bummer. Very much a bummer. Very, very disappointing. I wanted it to work much better for me, but sadly it doesn't. But anyway, keep me posted. Let me know what you guys are experiencing with this particular fragrance. Do you get beast mode at all? Because I don't know, some people say they do, and some people say they don't, but I want to find out what you guys experience. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video on the new Givenchy, Gentleman Givenchy Eau De Parfum Reserve Privee fragrance. If you haven't smelled it, are you curious to try it? And if you have, let me know what you experience with this one. Do you think it's the best in the whole entire series? I think it is, as far as smells go. Performance is another, you know, experience there. Anyway, thanks again. I appreciate you tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.